Om Shri Sairam. Let us chant Om 3 times. Om. Om. I offer my humble pronouns at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. We welcome you all to the Satsangh of Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini, organized by the Northern team of Vidya Vahini, DCM group of schools, children of Sai Educare Vidya Pratishthan, Dharamshala, brother Satyam Tandon, sister Mamta from Hisar, and Sri Priya Tandon, the coordinator of Sri Satya Sai Girls Senior Secondary School, Hisar. We are here today as a family to connect, bond, and share our experiences. Our feelings about this spiritual journey undertaken by us under Baba's guidance. Today, we have people from all walks of life who would enlighten us with the knowledge they possess and the experiences they acquired. Let us step forward and commence with the invocation of Veda recitation. This devotion and lovely recitation by children has scintillated our souls with love and compassion. We shall now have the director of Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini amongst us, who has graced the satsangs with her pearls of wisdom for years now. I shall now request Sister Karuna Munshi to set a spiritual rhythm to the satsang.
Om Shri Sairam, with pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, I welcome you all to this satsang today. Thank you for joining us. Today's satsang resonates with Bhagwan Baba's message that unity is very important because unity leads to purity and purity leads to divinity. And all of us, you, I, and everyone joining us, and those who will watch this later, we are in this place, in this space of Vidya Vahini, only because it is one of our attempts to experience divinity. And how does Vidya Vahini promote divinity? Today's satsang comes to us from great sadhakas and devotees of Bhagwan Baba, who largely work in the Himalayan regions or the foothills of the Himalayas, or in areas where the same avatar once sang a beautiful song celestial called the Bhagavad Gita from Haryana, from Kurukshetra, from areas around Hisar. So to everybody who's joining us today, you make it so wonderful for us to realize that Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini truly is a pan-India movement. It is fueled by the love, power, sincerity, and expertise of Indians from north to south, from east to west. So today's satsang being a very special one, it's coming from great people who have committed themselves to ensuring that the flame of Swami's education is going to be lit and keep shining brightly in north of India, and so that people don't see us only as a South India based organization. Prashanti Nilayam may be in Sri Satya Sai district of Andhra Pradesh. Prashanti Nilayam may be a part of South India, but the glory of Prashanti Nilayam is spread across this entire country and across the entire globe. So let's not forget that perspective, that we are part of a glorious movement. The light emanates from Prashanti, but it circles around the entire globe. And today, the glorious children of Bharat Mata from North India are going to walk us through the satsang. So please stay with us till the very end. Thank you and Sairam.
We surely admire your insightful thoughts and aphorism. Bhagwan quoted, your duty is to follow the 4 F's. Follow the master, face the devil, fight till end, and finish the game. Then you will win my love in full measure. Your conscience is your master. Follow your conscience. This is the mantra that our school has been following and achieved many milestones. Follow the master. He is a guru outside and a super conscious mind inside. I now hand over the mic to speakers explaining individually the 4 F's. I first invite Sister Nidhi to give us insight on the first F.
Om Shri Sairam. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Master, Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, and my loving Sairam to each and every one of you. It is my pleasure to be here to share one of the most important practices, that is, follow the Master. First of all, most important thing is to know who the Master is. A Master is the source who takes us to the stage of self-realization, giving us the purpose of our life and share with us the strategies for the same. Some people are of the view that we cannot achieve self-realization along with the worldly assignment, but I disagree. In fact, art of living is to experience self-realization while living in this world. Following our Master with an aim to play a fair game will get us close to divinity by fixing the small goals in life. Every act of ours may bring us closer to God and be an instrument in pleasing Divine Master. Let us now discuss about masters. Master is our guru, whom we follow and whose teachings we practice in our day-to-day life. Next is the inner master, that is our inner conscious, which makes us vigilant about the right or the wrong, provided we listen to the voice of conscious. Most of us start ignoring our inner voice because of our tendency to gain happiness through five senses. We need to master our mind and become mastermind. Master always try to set you right when your monkey mind plays the role of a villain. I would like to share one of the experience which was shared by our respected director, sir, Shri B.B. Gupta ji. He told me that once a thought entered his mind related to Sai Baba's Vibhuti. He thought, if I consume it too much, it might lead to a problem of kidney stones. Next day, a fellow Sai devotee visited him and told that he had a dream last night where Sai Baba told him that people even doubt his prasadam, which is being distributed as a healing ailment. That very moment, sir realized that the fellow person is sent as an angel messenger to him by his divine master. A master is so concerned that he keeps on directing us, and our job is to develop the ability to understand the signals sent by him. Our tragedy is that we listen to the master, we worship the master, but we don't follow his teachings. When someone tells Baba, we love you, Baba always say, love my words. If one is willing to follow the master, there is enough material present in the form of books. Swadhyaya means reading, plays a vital role in managing thoughts. Discuss your doubt with others. You may get the clarification. In Sai organization, study circle helps you for the same. Attending Satsangh and trying to follow the success stories of others will bring desired transformations. Now, I would like to invite Sister Shalini to share her experience. Om Shri Sairam.
Thank you, Sister Nidhi. Loving Sairam to dear brothers and sisters. Since my childhood, I have questioned myself about what is the purpose of my life. Fortunately, I got the answer when I joined Shri Sathya Sai Bal Vikas classes. And when I attended the youth conference at Pardi in 1999, I decided to follow my master, Shri Sathya Sai Baba. I started participating in Sai activities, but after marriage, my connection with Sai organization got lost. I kept on following Baba's teachings at home. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. But my urge to serve the society remained unfulfilled. When I joined DC model, I didn't know that Baba was again calling me to revive my childhood urge to serve the society. He already had a beautiful plan for my life. I offer my sincere gratitude to our director, Sir Shri B.B. Gupta ji, for giving me an opportunity to be a part of the PYF team, a task that I have been longed for. We at DC Model are happy and contented that we are learning beautiful lessons of life here. Sir encourages us to apply 4F in our daily activities. It is a part of the discussion of our school meetings and workshops. Whenever we feel that the task given is not working with children, for example, handwriting of students, spoken English, meditation, discipline, etc. Or when we found that results of PYF is not coming as per our expectations, Sir sent us email with a simple but strong message. Have patience and perseverance and apply 4F. It's my pleasure to share that the entire DCM is following the principles of 4F for the betterment of our children. May Sai bless us with strength to follow our master. Om Shri Sairam.
I would like to say that your experiences are testimony to the fact that in life, what you seek is seeking you. When the student is ready, then only the master appears. We now have the second F, face the devil. That would be best explained by Sister Shweta.
Thank you, Sister Mehak. Om Shri Sairam. Offering my loving pranam at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. I hereby want to submit the condition of a person when he gets ready to face the devil. For example, you laid in the bed and the weather was pleasant, but suddenly it starts raining heavily and the weather turns to cold. Now, you have only two conditions. Either you will overcome the devil of laziness in you and get yourself a blanket to have a sound sleep, or you will let the devil overpower your mind and you will have the disturbed routine the next day due to uncomfortability. So the choice is yours. Either you can overcome the devil or the devil will take over the remote control of your life. There are devils in us. These are overthinking, excessive self-blame, chasing happiness, trying to impress others, jealousy, grudges, dishonesty, and much more. For example, you have a fear of being attacked by a street dog. Then you should deal with this devil at the initial stage before it multiplies and attack the complete peace of mind and the satisfaction of the soul. Devils can be of two types. Physical devils like dependence on the intoxicants and the drugs, whereas the psychological devils can leave us feeling emotionally numb, anxious, and isolated. But we can overcome these devils by two ways, either by the introspection or by taking the social help from the family and friends. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. So we must give up the devils in us. Some devils come in the form of the mental problems, which takes time to be cured. For example, confused thinking, detachment from reality, stress, excessive anger, and the violence, etc. But remember one thing. One small crack does not mean that you are broken. It means that you were put to the test and you didn't fall apart. Introspect with a calm mind without biasing. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is a conversation to the self, of the self, and for the self. Check what triggers. Self-awareness is self-control. When people understand that what triggers them, then they can restrain the devils and can reflect on their weaknesses in order to make the adjustments and improvements. Initially, self-regulation will eat at you for days, maybe for weeks, and even for the months. But in the end, you will surely be liberated. Avoid any such situation and pray if it is unavoidable. For this, I'm going to share a few techniques. Firstly, let your body relax and breathe deeply. Secondly, focus on the positivity, not on the negativity. Thirdly, avoid the bad company. Lastly, meditate at the same time every day. Pray as if everything is dependent on the God, and fight the devil as if everything is dependent on you. Write a diary if you fail to fix. Writing diary helps in organizing, planning, executing, and cross-checking our determination, courage, and the zeal to beat the devils in us. Do not get disheartened. Failures are the pillars of success. Devils and negativity can't be killed in a day. The road to the liberation of soul is not an easy one. It is a narrow, rough, patchy, full of hurdles and obstacles. Here, I will like to conclude by saying these words: surround yourself with the positive people and wear a shield to keep yourself away from the negativity and the negative people who poison your mind and your body and soul. Now, I would like to call upon Sister Rose to share her real life experiences to inspire us that how to face the devils in the real life. Om Shri Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Om Shri Sairam to everyone. Bury the bad thoughts under the good ones, and the bad ones will just fade away and be forgotten. These wise words are spoken by Sri Sathya Sai Baba. One cannot follow the master without facing the devil, who tries to block every step of ours. As Sister Shweta said, the devil dispatches his most insidious lieutenant, no doubt, to prevent our progress. So here I would like to add one of my very own experiences. As a teacher, we meet different students coming from different backgrounds. And in last few days, I have noticed there is a student of mine, a girl. In that class, I usually go in the first period. And I noticed that the said girl sometimes yawn in the class, sometimes she looks out of the window, not focused until her name is called out. So one day I discussed it with my coordinator, ma'am, Miss Kavita. I discussed with her and she said we should talk to her in person. So one day we took her to the library, just asking her to help us in some tasks so that she also feel good. So when she reached there, we discussed with her, Beta, sometimes we notice you looking out of the window. Sometimes you yawn in the class as well. Don't you like studying in this school? She said, ma'am, I like to study, but I just want to lay down and sleep. But my mother forces me in the morning to wake up and go to school. So we asked her, why don't you want to study? She said, ma'am, I don't know, but I just want to lay down. And sometimes I want to go out of the window, out of the class and play, but I have to study. So we asked her, do you feel that you cannot score good? Like your notebook is full of notes and your diary also is full of notes and your report marks are not that good. She said, no, ma'am, I also want to study hard. I also want to score good, but I can't help it. So we suggested her, do you know that it's not you, it's not your fault, but there is a devil inside. But the little girl she laughed. We said, don't worry, the devil is laziness. So do you want to conquer this devil? She was happy to know this and she said, yes, ma'am, I will. We ask her to every time, whenever she feels like looking out of the window or whenever she feels bored in the class, I ask her to look at me or the teacher who is teaching. Or maybe she can come to the teacher and ask her, ma'am, may I sit in front of you? I said, my dear, you just need to take care of yourself and rest we will take care. She went to the class. She went back. Later in the evening, I called her mother and discussed with her and I came to know a few more things. We took the parents in confidence and asked them to let her deal with this. And for my greatest surprise, on the day of the last examination, she was the first person to complete her exam. 2 days ago, there was a note written in her diary that one of the books of hers was not completed. So the teacher asked her to call the parents the other day. But in the 6th period, she came to me and said, ma'am, see, I have completed the whole work. Can you request my teacher to cut this note? I was so happy to see this improvement. So I took her to coordinator ma'am because she was teaching in the class next to me. She was equally happy. We clapped for her and sent her back. We requested later her teacher to cut the note because she has already completed the work. What I learned from this experience is love can make us gather the affection of all mankind. We just started appreciating her little deeds, started clapping for her. And we believe that love will not tolerate any selfish aim or approach. As Baba says, love is God, live in love. Then all is right and all can be well. Expand your heart so that it can encompass all. So I would like to conclude my words by saying that I am equally thankful to DCM family for giving me this opportunity to face Smile Devil while helping others to conquer theirs. Thank you and a loving Sairam to everyone. Om Sairam.
It was indeed a wonderful explanation given. Facing the devil is indeed a tough fight. Even in Mahabharata, in the beginning of the war, Arjun almost gave up on war, thinking, how would he fight with his guru, his brothers, his family, who took up arms against him? At that moment, Lord Krishna beckoned him. Face the devil, do your karma, evade the thoughts of confusion, depression, emptiness. These are your evils, preventing you to reach your lakshya. Learning with the same spirit, we shall now listen to the third F, fight till end, to be best explained by Sister Pooja.
Om Shri Sairam. I offer my sincere gratitude to Swami for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you on the magic formula of third F, that is fight till end. Dear brothers and sisters, we all are controlled by 6 vices, which are nothing but the product of our monkey mind. The agony is that our mind has become untamed and errant and has started controlling us. We have become slaves of our own instincts. But when a man decides and moves ahead on the path of self-realization, the grip of these vices over him loosens, and he gets more and more leverage to change his destiny. When a person identifies himself with the self and listens to the voice of his conscience, which is nothing but the voice of God, gradually he starts moving towards his destined goal. The journey of that devastated mind is not covered in a day or two, rather takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes many births even. So, my dear brothers and sisters, mantra to this is only one. That is, never, never, never give up. The devil inside or outside us is always likely to come back and strike us again and again. But our willpower, our patience, and our continuous efforts in this direction help us to eradicate it completely. How can one keep oneself steady on the path of Dharma? It can only be feasible by following the voice of our conscience that always puts us on the right path. We need to fight till the end and struggle ceaselessly. We need to have mastery in watching our thoughts. Our conscious mind must be so strong and trained that whenever a bad thought comes, it should be rejected there and then. And only the fruitful and sanctified one must be entertained. According to our Indian mythology, we all are upgraded from animal to human form. We all have some or the other kind of animal instincts built in us. Some of us become cruel like a lion. Some are clever like foxes, and some are lazy like cuckoos. So, when we introspect, we find that out of these instincts, we all have 1 or 2 instincts more than the others, depending upon the animal form we were in our previous birth, before attaining human birth. We need to self-assess that which is that vice which triggers us and brings our morale down. There must always be a harmony between our thoughts, words, and deeds. Okay, now let me share a very beautiful story with you. Please listen to it very carefully. You know how a habit is developed? Mothers usually teach their children how to brush their teeth. Initially, when she forces the child to the wash basin, the child resists because of the devil of laziness inside the child. But working on it on a daily basis, the mother acknowledges a stage when the child starts getting up in one go. So when this process is continued for a longer period, the child starts going on his own. And finally, a stage comes when the child himself is willing to brush the teeth without any instruction from his master. And you all know who is his master? Of course, his mother. So here, first head is involved, and gradually the head, heart, and hands are in harmony. So, like a snake and ladder game, our past karmas let us down by getting us charmed by snakes and vice versa, our sanchit karmas do provide us a ladder to go up. But we must not forget that efforts from our side or karmas play an important role too. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we have nothing in our hand other than fighting till end. If we continue fighting, a day is bound to come when we will be able to finish the game. So, this is the assurance which is given by our Divine Master, and I am having full faith in him. Om Shri Sairam. Now, I would like Sister Nishi to kindly share her experiences with us. Thank you.
Nishi ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sister Pooja. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm and loving Sairam to all. Swami says, and I quote, "Wherever and whenever you think of me, I shall be with you. Whenever you call me, I shall respond." My today's experience is the embodiment of these lines. I experienced the presence of Baba in my life 12 years ago when I joined DC Model School as a teacher. As I was under the probationary period, I was constantly worried for my survival in this prestigious organization. Honestly speaking, I didn't know much about Bhagwan Baba at that time. But as I came to know that the institution has a firm belief and follows the teachings of Swami with wholehearted devotion, a slight ray of hope also dwells in my heart. I also prayed like a lay believer to Baba so that I could overcome my fear. To my great surprise, the same night, I saw Baba in my dreams, wearing an orange dress, showered his blessings with both hands, and had a mesmerizing smile on his face. That moment, I firmly believed of my permanence in the school. This incident strengthens my deep bonding of trust and devotion towards Baba. How true the saying of Swami is, I quote, "Why fear when I am here?" I unquote. Now it's been 12 years that with the divine blessings of Swami, I am working as a happy and a proud member of the DCM family. Dear all, I would also like to share another experience that happened last month only when I attended the program of Sadhana Aradhana Mahotsav on April 24th. I was struggling with my inner fundamental darkness. When I reached the venue and after listening to the melodious bhajans, I had tears in my eyes. I burst out all the emotions in front of Baba and asked for his help. After the program got over and I was about to leave, I got the photograph of Baba in the same posture which I had in my dreams 12 years back with Vibhuti. It was not less than a miracle for me. I realized that Baba was listening to all my conversations and answered me in his own unique way. I felt the presence of Baba in the form of protective forces around me. PYF classes is also considered as one of the major blessings of Swami, through which I got a chance to create positive karma in my life and to imbibe the preachings of Baba. I am determined to offer my unconditional service for the well-being of the society as my debt of gratitude to Swami. With this, I would like to conclude by saying thank you to everyone for listening to me so patiently. Om Shri Sairam.
I must say that the third F has been beautifully explained. That fight till end is a mental game. It was due to constant integrated awareness that Sister Nishi could evade the devil of fear. We now have the last F, the fourth one, finish the game, to be explained by Sister Suman.
Thank you, Sister Mehak. It is not where you start, it is where you finish. My humble pranam at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba and loving Sairam to all. Today I am going to share the last F, that is finish the game. Finishing the game is not as easy as it seems to be. We all are well aware of the story of an ant who tried to climb up the wall but could not succeed. But at last, with its firm determination, it reached the wall. Our mind plays the major role, and because of the complexities and distractions created by our mind, does not allow us to finish the game. Now, the question is, how we will come to know that game is finished? Here is the sequence. By following the master, self-confidence will be created. As it is rightly said by Sister Nishi, why fear when I am here? This self-confidence will make us ready to face the devil. Once we get rid of the devil within ourselves, the Supreme Master will start supporting us, and a sort of self-satisfaction will be created. This will give us satisfaction that at least I can purify myself, and the purpose of life will be visualized. We will come to know that this life is not meant for just eating, drinking, and being merry. Rather, a beautiful lesson given by the Divine Master. That is, Paropkartham idam shariram. This body is given by the God to help others, and this will lead to self-sacrifice. With self-sacrifice, purity will start coming in. Our subconscious mind will get pure. This purity will lead to unity. That is, unity of thoughts, words, and deeds. And our head, heart, and hand will be in harmony. This purity will lead to divinity. Last but not the least, it will lead to self-realization. This all will not be possible without praying to Almighty. Oh Baba, your life is the message for others, and I pray that my life should also be your message. Now, please allow me to finish our memorable sharing of thoughts on 4Fs with our school's prayer. This is my prayer to thee, my Lord. Strike, strike at the root of malice in my heart. Give me strength lightly to bear my joys and sorrows. Give me strength to make my love fruitful in service. This is my prayer to thee, my Lord. Strike, strike at the root of malice in my heart. Now, I would like to invite Sister Mamta from Sri Satya Sai Girls Senior Secondary School, Hisar, to share her experiences. Thank you so much. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Thank you, ma'am. Loving Sairam to all. Today I am feeling immense happiness as I have got a chance of sharing my experience of teaching through Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini. I believe that true education is that which removes the pollution of the mind and develops the character. And Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini program helps me to inculcate this thing in my students. Most of our students here belongs to uneducated families. In the last academic session, when when they came back to school after COVID, being taught through Satya Sai Vidya Vahini content was a gift for them by Bhagwan Baba. While teaching here at Satya Sai School, I feel satisfaction that I am doing a noble work of teaching children that gives me pleasure and satisfaction. This content is very useful for teachers as well as students. It is something different from the traditional way of teaching. The PPTs are nicely prepared. I have also got a chance to learn something new and the same with my students. I know very well that I cannot bring 100% change in the students within the 6 months. But in these 6 months, I have observed the twinkle in the eyes of the students when they have understood the concept. I told them that twinkle gives me energy to learn more and more and inculcate this knowledge in students. I also want to share my experience of attending PYF classes. I'm very blissful to have my mentor, Mrs. Reena Chavlaji. Her way of greeting is so energetic that at that time I also feel that energy. I have learned this thing from her that if a teacher enters in class with smile on his or her face and energy in the voice, the same energy will also spread in his or her class. And also the moral stories in these lessons is a very good way of teaching values to the students. I am following the fourth F during teaching. After learning the concept of teaching of the topic clearly, the students apply them in an intuitive manner and hence following the fourth F, that is finish the game. That's all I have got to say. May Sai Baba spread this knowledge among all the students. We have great challenges and great opportunities, and with Sai Baba's help, we will meet them and try to make the upcoming years to be the best. Om Shri Sai.
It is a pleasure to acknowledge such flabbergastingly amazing anecdotes shared on this platform today. The mantra of finishing the game says that we get highly motivated to face our devils, struggle, and fight till end. But the main battle is to maintain the spirit of perseverance and dedication, which is sadly often lost in the pathway. If you ever feel like giving up, remember, why have you started? Reaching the ultimate goal of purity, unity, and divinity. Let us now understand the principles of 4Fs through a story about a woman facing adversities in life and how she triumphed over them. I would now request Sister Priya Tandon to share the story.
Sairam, I'm Priya Tandon from Chandigarh. Some of you would perhaps know me as the co-author of the Sunrays series of books that were blessed by Swami. Since I am better known as a storyteller, I thought of sharing a story with you today for this satsang. This is a story about a woman who had spent the best years of her life in bringing up her children and in making her house a home. She believed that a home is a place that is his home on earth. So if she could make her home his home on earth, a place where he could reside on earth, she could justify giving up a promising career. And she could also make God happy. In due course of time, when her children grew up, she realized that she had lots of time on her hands. There was an opportunity to go back to the work that she had left 30 years ago, but it had lost its charm. There were opportunities galore to do this, that, and the other, but it failed to attract her. One day, a friend invited her to a room that had a repository of files, books, letters, papers, etc. Just on a whim, she picked up one of those files and started reading through it. It looked like a child's notes. Instinctively, she started reading it and found that there were many errors in spelling, punctuation, language, etc. And she started correcting them. When she stepped back to look at what had been created, she felt a great sense of calm, a satisfaction at a job well done. She visited that room on and off at all odd hours of the day. Doing this work became a habit, a second nature to her, and she started enjoying it. Doing that work made her feel like she was able to help to clear up the chaos in this world in her own little way. In clearing up the cobwebs in those notes, she felt that she was even able to clear up the cobwebs in her own mind. Creating perfection brought solace to her. She often felt that there are only 26 alphabets in the English language, but what a humongous amount of content has been prepared through them. It is how you use those alphabets that determines what you create. As time passed, she found herself correcting notes of English, physics, chemistry, EVS, SST, and she enjoyed all of it. As she worked through the content, adding a comma here, a full stop there, deleting a dash here, adding expression by way of exclamatory content, or adding intrigue by way of interrogative text, she chiseled and cut, copied and pasted, spiced and basted each paper till it twinkled like a sparkling star. One day, as she sat musing through her papers, she wrote a poem. Dear Lord, this work someone had created. I have only curated. The time spent in perfecting is my offering in the making. The perfection in creation has become my recreation. The pen is yours, the sheet is yours, the work to finally savor is yours. Pray, accept this offering from yours to you, for I am what I am only because of you. As she looked at the pen in her hand, she remembered that many years ago, the Lord had appeared in her dream. He had given her a pen and a pad and said, "Write something for me." As she took the pen, she looked up at him and thought, "He is the Lord and Master of the universe. What can I write for him?" She wrote, "I love you, Swami." He took the pen and pad back from her and wrote, "I love you too." Dear sisters and brothers, with humility in my heart, I want to share that the woman in this story is me. Let me tell you how I use the 4F principle in working as a language editor for Vidya Vahini. Follow the master. I try to do everything in consonance with Swami's teachings. He is my master. Face the devil. No idling, no procrastination, no room for careless mistakes. Third, fight to the end. Till the work reaches a stage of perfection, don't give up. Fourth, finish the game. Till the offering is not fit to be offered to Swami, keep at it. I am so thankful to my dear friend Karuna Munshi for introducing me into the beautiful world of Vidya Vahini. And as for my beloved Bhagwan Baba, the only thing I have to offer to him is myself. Thank you and Sairam.
Experience is a teacher of all things and one of the most pivotal sources of energy. I shall now invite Brother Satyam Tandon to sing a bhajan written by Sister Priya for us.
मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। सब कुछ हमने तुमसे पाया, सब कुछ हमने तुमसे पाया, फिर भी इच्छा करते हैं। मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। सूर्य की किरणों में तुम्हें देखूं, बरखा की रिमझिम में तुम्हें देखूं। सूर्य की किरणों में तुम्हें देखूं, बरखा की रिमझिम में तुम्हें देखूं। सांझ ढले तो चांद सितारे तुम्हारी छवि की आरती उतारे। मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। सुख दुख में तो मेरे साथी, पल पल छिन छिन मेरे साथी। सुख दुख में तुम मेरे साथी, पल पल छिन छिन मेरे साथी। साथ न छोड़ो नाथ मेरा तुम, मैं अनाथ बिन नाथ तुम्हारे। मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। सब मिल बैठे महिमा गाए, बहुत प्यार से तुमको बुलाए। सब मिल बैठे महिमा गाए, बहुत प्यार से तुमको बुलाए। दिन की भूख से व्याकुल सारे, भूल के भी ना तुमको बुलाए। मेरे अपने साईं भगवन प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं। नजरें बिछाए भक्त खड़े हैं, सबने हाथ भी जोड़ लिए हैं। जोड़ लिए हैं, क्यों फिर आने में देर करी है। ये तो दर्शन की घड़ी है, मेरे अपने साईं भगवन। प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं, सब कुछ हमने तुमसे पाया, सब कुछ हमने तुमसे पाया। फिर भी चाह करते हैं, मेरे अपने साईं भगवन। प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं, प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं, प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं, प्यार तुम्हें हम करते हैं।
As we reach the pinnacle of the Satsangh, I shall now invite the director of Northern Region of Vidya Vahini, Shri B.B. Gupta, to summarize the 4Fs, thus giving us a concise and laconic synopsis of how it affects our day-to-day life in general.
Om Shri Sairam. Pranam at the lotus feet of my Bhagwan, Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Facing the devil is on since the beginning of the world. Only difference is that earlier devil was outside, but now in Kali Yuga it is residing inside us. Problem is that we see the devil in others, ignoring our own. Like Arjuna, when we place ourselves between army of virtues and vices, sometimes we get depressed because we find vices are dear to our senses and we fail to imagine how our life will be without the particular vice. When we start playing game of snakes and ladder and rice using ladder, we pat ourselves. But when snake bites and we fell down, we curse others. Let us play a fair game and leave the rest to God. I mean, not to get egoistic when we rise and not to get depressed when we fall. I would like to congratulate the northern team of Vidya Vahini for the wonderful presentation today. Dear teachers, let us help our brothers and sisters of rural area to face the devil of spoken English through our wonderful technique of PYF and help them to assess the lessons of LMS. May Swami give us strength to fight till end and finish the game. Om Shri.
We assure you, we, the members of Northern Region, will play the game fairly and will finish the game with vigor and vitality. On behalf of Northern Region of Sri Sathya Sai family, I shall culminate our satsang on Mangal Aarti followed by Shanti Path. Om Shri Sairam.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा कल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मरि अन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरि अन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्रशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल आरती अंधुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
Loving Sairam to all.